Welcome back to This Explainer, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today. If you're looking to uncover some incredibly smart, efficient financial strategies, well, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're diving into some fascinating source material from mortgage expert Alan Bell. And our main focus? We're going to directly compare a standard mortgage against using a gift of equity. We're talking about a strategy that almost every family with home-owning parents has access to, yet shockingly, almost nobody is actually using. Forget about spending decades aggressively saving every single penny just to afford a standard down payment. The solution might literally be sitting right inside your family tree.
So here is the ultimate question. How do you buy your parents' house with zero down? Now, I know, it sounds like an internet scam or some late-night infomercial pitch, but I promise you it is absolutely real. Our source material today reveals a hidden real estate secret that is perfectly legal, highly encouraged by lenders, and can fundamentally change your family's financial future. Let's uncover exactly how this works.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We've got the classic real estate standoff. I hear about this exact setup constantly. The parents own a home, the kids have been living somewhere else, paying exorbitant rent and trying to save up a down payment, which, let's be honest, feels completely impossible in today's market. The parents are thinking, well, we'd love to help them out, maybe even sell them the house, but we don't have $100,000 in cash just sitting around to write a check. Meanwhile, the kid is thinking, I want to buy the house, but I can't even put together a normal down payment. It's a total deadlock.
But here's what both sides are usually missing: the gift of equity. The parents already have exactly what the kid needs. They don't need cash, they have equity. They have ownership of an asset that has gone up in value over time. A gift of equity is basically a structure that allows a home's equity to be transferred directly to a buyer as a down payment when the parents sell their house. Just think about that for a second. Without a single dollar bill actually changing hands between the parents and the child, the down payment problem is instantly solved.
Now, you might be wondering, is this some shady niche loophole? No way. This structure is actually deeply embedded inside every major mortgage program in the country. It's available on conventional loans through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, FHA loans, VA loans for our veterans, and even USDA loans. The entire mortgage industry supports this because they recognize that family equity is real, bankable value.
Let's make this concrete. Walk through this hypothetical math with me because this is really where the magic happens. Let's say the parents' home gets an appraised market value of $500,000, but they want to give their kid a deal, so they agree to a contract sale price of $400,000. So what about that $100,000 difference between what the home is actually worth and what the kid is paying? That is your documented gift of equity. The lender looks at that contract and literally treats that $100,000 gap as if the kid just walked into the bank and slammed $100,000 in cash on the table. Selling below appraisal creates the down payment out of thin air. The cascading benefits here are just incredible. Because the kid is signing a loan for $400,000 against a home that is appraised at $500,000, their loan-to-value ratio automatically drops to 80%. This means the kid walks into closing with $0 down out of their own pocket for the down payment. And the best part? Because they hit that magic 80% loan-to-value threshold, there is absolutely no mortgage insurance, or PMI. Eliminating PMI isn't some clever trick, it's just a natural, massive money-saving byproduct of leveraging the home's true appraised value.
A super common question that pops up here is, okay, so what's the limit on this? The answer is incredibly freeing. There is no federal cap on how much equity your parents can gift you. None. The only practical limit is the home's appraisal minus what your parents need to pay off their own loan. So if your parents have lived there for 30 years and own the home completely free and clear, the entire equity is available to use. If they still owe, say, $150,000, then the gift simply starts above that payoff amount.
Section 2. A tale of two mortgages, comparing the real-world financial impact. Let's look at exactly how this plays out.
Now, what's really interesting here is a real client story provided by Alan Bell from Central Oregon. Here is the exact setup. We have a family home with an appraised market value of $475,000. In order to pay off their current loans and walk away clean, the parents needed exactly $385,000. Keep those two numbers in your head: a $475,000 asset and a $385,000 payoff requirement.
And this right here perfectly illustrates our core focus today, comparing a standard mortgage against using a gift of equity. If this buyer had gone the traditional route and gotten the standard FHA loan on the full $475,000 market price, they'd need a 3.5% down payment. That translates to roughly $32,000 in cash required at closing, plus they'd be strapped with lifetime mortgage insurance. But what if we flip the script to a gift of equity?
By writing the contract at the $385,000 the parents actually needed, they documented a $90,000 gift. The buyer walked into closing needing only about $4,200 to cover standard closing costs and had absolutely no mortgage insurance. I mean, think about how absurd that difference is. $32,000 versus $4,200 out of pocket. It's a game changer.
I really want to pause and let that sink in for a moment. Same buyer, same home. Two completely, vastly different financial outcomes. The only thing that changed was the structure of the deal. They didn't magically find a cheaper house. They didn't snag some unheard of interest rate. They just used the rules of the game to their advantage.
Let's move on to the playbook. 3 non-negotiable rules for executing a gift of equity.
Let's see how this builds, because this strategy requires strict adherence to some very specific rules. You have to follow 3 critical steps. Number 1, get a market appraisal. Number 2, provide a written gift letter. And number 3, consult a CPA before signing. Let's break these down real quick.
Step 1. The contract must be written at the discounted price. The home has to actually appraise at market value, but the sales price on your contract has to be that lower discounted number. If you write the contract at the full market price, there's literally no gap to gift. The appraisal is what creates the mathematical space for that equity transfer to even exist. Moving to step 2, the written gift letter. Listen, lenders deal in legally binding paperwork, not family handshakes. You can't just tell the bank, yeah, my parents are cool with it. The letter must state the exact dollar amount, firmly declare that the money is absolutely not a loan, and explicitly state that no repayment is expected by the parents. The lender needs 100% certainty that this isn't some secret under-the-table debt. So the crucial point we always hear about next is taxes. Whenever you start talking about gifting large sums of value, people immediately panic about the gift tax. But check out this number, $13 million. Unless your parents are secretly billionaires trying to hand over a massive estate, you're going to be totally fine. Under current tax law, the lifetime gift tax exemption is north of $13 million per person. For a married couple, double that. So for the vast majority of families transferring a primary residence, the gift tax is a complete non-issue. Actually, scratch that fear of the gift tax, because the real risk isn't gift tax at all, it's capital gains. If the home is appreciated significantly over the years and your parents don't qualify for the primary residence exclusion, like maybe they've been renting it out for years, they could face a pretty hefty tax bill on that profit. This is the exact scenario that can turn an amazing family deal into a really stressful financial headache.
And that leads perfectly into step 3, summed up by this phenomenal quote from Alan Bell. A short CPA call before contract is the cheapest insurance you will buy on this deal. Seriously, do not guess on tax law. Do not just rely on a quick Google search. Spend a couple $100s to have your parents sit down with a CPA before anyone signs anything. Verifying that primary residence exclusion status is the smartest money you'll spend in this entire process.
So what does this all mean? We've seen exactly what happens when you compare a standard mortgage against using a gift of equity, how it can save a buyer tens of thousands of dollars at closing and literally wipe out PMI. We've walked through the 3-step playbook to make it happen safely and legally. The tools are right here in front of you. So the only question left is, are you ready to start the gift of equity conversation with your family today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.